Hey guys, we are on day 151 in our Bible reading plan, 1 Samuel 28 through 31 and Psalm 150. A big day because we're finishing two books of the Bible, 1 Samuel, the 15th book, and Psalms. We just finished it. This is the 16th book. That's incredible. Let me give you the big idea today as we wrap up 1 Samuel, but just excited about the fact that we're this far along. So there are no mistakes in God's economy. Every closed door has a purpose and is used by God to redirect your calling. Big chunk of scripture today starts off with Saul, poor Saul. Things go from bad to worse for him. He goes and seeks help from the witch, basically. He shouldn't have done that, but the Lord wasn't answering him at that point, and so he brings up Samuel, and he gets a lot of bad news. He gets, number one, the news that he's going to lose the battle, and number two, the news that he was going to die by the end of the day and be with Samuel. And so indeed, this is what happens. He dies, and it's a mess because his head's cut off. They put it on top of the false god Dagon, and then they eventually get his bones, and it's just a sad. Even though Saul turned out to be sort of one of those busts, basically, it's just still sad to see his life unfold. And Jonathan dies too. In the meanwhile, David has no idea at that point. They don't have social media, so he doesn't know what's happening. So and I don't even understand why he does this, but he goes to fight with the Philistines, and luckily, God stops that plan. In fact, Achish, the king, is fine with him coming, but all the other leaders are like, no way, he is one of the other guys. And this was God's protection. And honestly, sometimes you may mean well. Maybe David had given up on his calling. Maybe he had given up on the fact that things were going to change. I don't know. But God stopped him from going down that path. And there must have been some sense of rejection at that point. He'd spent 15 years or so with the Philistines. Not that he wanted to be one of them, but still, it's got to be hard to face rejection, no matter where it's coming from. Now he goes home and he has a mess happening on the home front. His entire village is overtaken. His two wives are taken, and all the people now, his own people, want to stone him. Remember, those were like the rebels who had aligned themselves to him. And what does David do? Well, he does the right thing. One of the most encouraging verses in all of the Bible is 1 Samuel chapter 30, verse 6. It says, "And David was greatly distressed, for the people spoke of stoning him, because all the people were bitter in soul, each for his sons and daughters. But David strengthened himself in the Lord his God." This was really David's pivot point, but also his strength. He always turned back to the Lord. And so he does. And they go back and they capture all of the goods that were stolen, all the people that were taken, and he comes back in victory. And in the meantime, Saul has died, and things are about to change for David. So think about it. When things were darkest for David, it was right before the turnaround in his life. Sometimes you're living in a state of rejection, of pain, of being attacked by everybody, and yet it could be the very cusp, the very eve of the turnaround that God has for you. So don't give up. Every rejection is a beginning of God redirecting your calling, putting you where you need to be. So let's trust him no matter where you are today. I'm praying for you. May God give you the strength to find your strength in the Lord. Love you guys.